Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the show, my honeys, my nasty birds, my absolute dears.
Oh my goodness, the energy today is just, it is off the charts.
It really is. It is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. And I have to ask you guys, has anyone else felt like the air itself is vibrating, like literally humming? Because I looked at the charts this morning, and frankly, the geometry is screaming at us.
Screaming. It is absolutely electric out there. You are not imagining it, my nice-hearted listener. If we were to, look at the planetary tension on a graph right now, we are spiking completely off the page. We are sitting at a solid 100 out of 10 intensity.
I knew it. It's that feeling of, it's like walking into a room where everyone was just arguing, but now they're completely quiet and staring at you.
Yes. Oh, that is exactly the vibe. Because we are sandwiching ourselves right between two massive events right now. Precisely. We are in the thick of the eclipse portal. We just finished that massive solar eclipse in Aquarius last week, which really shook up the collective. And now we are hurtling at high speed, I might add, toward a lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd. So we are basically in the hallway between two doors, and the draft is blowing everything around.
And usually, a hallway is a place to catch your breath. But this looks more like a wind tunnel. It's a quote-unquote time of transformation, which is usually astrologer speak for hold on to your hats.
Ideally, yes, you'd rest, but the universe is not sitting still, and neither are we. However, amidst all this general noise and chaos, we have a very specific agenda for today's deep dive into the sky energies.
We do.
We are turning our lens on the Zodiac's most elegant diplomats. The ones who are probably, right at this exact moment, agonizing over whether to wear the blue shirt or the slightly darker blue shirt.
Our gorgeous Libras. Or Tarazi, for our friends joining us from across the globe. I know my aesthetic birds have been waiting for this because they absolutely hate being left out.
You really do.
But before we get into their specific, spotlight forecast, we need to break down the technical weather. Because there is some heavy machinery moving in the sky this week that affects everybody.
There certainly is. And looking at the ephemeris for this week, the first thing that jumps right out is Mercury.
Right, Mercury. I see he's stationing. Now, usually we talk about the retrograde as this blanket sort of communication error period, but this one is in Pisces, and that feels distinct. Why does the data suggest this is heavier than a standard retrograde?
That is a great observation. It's all about the element. So Mercury is the planet of logic, data, linear thought, spreadsheets. But Pisces is a mutable water sign. It's the realm of dreams, intuition, the deep subconscious.
So they don't mix well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you put a logic-based planet into a water sign and then make it move backward, you aren't just getting typos in your emails. You are getting profound emotional misinterpretation.
Wow, okay. So it's not just that the text message didn't send, it's that I read the text and completely convinced myself you were angry at me when you weren't.
Exactly that. It creates a foggy brain. Logic just dissolves in the water. This Thursday, February 26th, is the official station retrograde. And I cannot stress this enough, it is a terrible time for buying technology because your discernment is completely compromised.
The facts are underwater.
The sources are very clear on this. Do not buy a phone, do not sign a lease, do not make a major decision based on quote-unquote facts this week.
And yet there's a pull to the past here, too. We've seen a lot of notes in our sources about nostalgia.
Oh, massive nostalgia. That is the Pisces influence. The tide is pulling things back in. Old friends, old lovers, unresolved issues from like 3 years ago, they all just wash up on the shore this week.
Okay, so we have this emotional fog, but then I look at Friday, February 27th, and the chart looks completely different. We have Mars squaring Uranus. That isn't foggy at all. That looks violent.
It is sharp kinetic energy. Very spicy. Mars is action and aggression. Uranus is sudden, shocking change. And they are forming a square, which is a hard 90-degree angle of tension. What makes this so volatile is that we are likely dealing with fixed energy here. You have the unstoppable force of Mars hitting the immovable object of Uranus.
Oh, it's friction. Pure heat.
Explosions, honestly. The sources describe this aspect as unpredictable and sudden. Patience doesn't just run low on Friday, it evaporates. This is why we have the safety warnings for the week.
Right, the clumsy accidents.
This aspect historically correlates with accidents involving electricity or driving or just moving too fast.
Because everyone is rushing, but the energy is completely erratic.
Correct. It is pop-off energy. If you try to force something on Friday, it will likely break.
Noted. No parkour on Friday. Literally zero physical risks. But surely there has to be a counterbalance to all this.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a conjunction here between Mercury and Venus.
Yes, the saving grace. Amidst the fog and the friction, Mercury meets Venus. This is the sweetener of the week. Venus brings harmony to that confused underwater Mercury. It creates a beautiful makeup energy.
Oh, I love that. So if Mars makes us scream at someone on Friday, Venus helps us write the really sweet apology letter on Saturday.
Precisely. It is excellent for smoothing over those rough retrograde edges. Use that energy to talk about feelings rather than trying to establish facts.
Okay, that is the landscape. Foggy, then explosive, then apologetic. Now, let's pivot to our main characters. My aesthetic birds, the Libras. How does this specific cocktail of madness pace to them?
Well, if we look at the solar chart for Libra, the first thing we notice is the pace. The headline here for them is Busy Bee.
They're running around.
Nonstop. The sources indicate a week of high velocity. But remember that Mercury fog we just discussed. When you combine high speed with low visibility, you get extreme absent-mindedness. Libras are going to be losing things left and right.
Oh, no.
Keys, wallets, maybe even their patience. They won't even have time to scratch their heads.
I can just picture a Libra looking perfectly put together, flawless outfit, but having absolutely no idea where they park their car.
That is exactly the vibe. But let's look at why they are so busy. You mentioned the solar eclipse in Aquarius earlier. Now, usually Aquarius energy feels a bit detached, but for Libra, this is forming a beautiful geometric angle to their sign.
Right, it's hitting their fifth house. Now, for the listeners who might not have their charts totally memorized, why is the fifth house activation such a big deal for them right now?
The fifth house is the playground of the zodiac. It rules true love, romance, creativity, and children. When a solar eclipse, which is a massive new beginning, hits this house, it is like someone just turned on a giant spotlight.
Oh, I love that for them. So while everyone else is dealing with the heaviness of the world and the explosive Mars energy, Libra is basically being invited to the center stage.
In a major way. The sources literally call this juicy. It is a massive opening for creativity. If you are a Libra listener with a manuscript in your drawer or a song in your head, the universe is demanding that you let it out. And regarding romance,
You tell.
it is incredibly fertile right now, and I mean that in every sense of the word. We are seeing indicators for pregnancy, for grandchildren, or for metaphorically birthing a new artistic identity. It's a time to flirt, to shine like a star, to wear the sequins.
Finally. Because, Libras live for a bit of glamour. So the universe is basically handing them a microphone and a feather boa.
Yes, entertain us, says the sky.
But, and I hate to be the one to bring the rain clouds into the party, we do have to talk about the sixth house. Because while the fifth house is popping champagne, Mercury retrograde is parking itself in their sixth house of work and routine. And that sounds like a conflict.
It is a direct conflict, unfortunately. The sixth house is the engine room. It's daily chores, health, coworkers. Having Mercury retrograde there is like throwing a handful of sand right into the gears.
So they are feeling creative and romantic, but their actual day-to-day life is a mess.
Exactly. We are looking at chaos in the workplace. Misunderstandings with colleagues, emails disappearing into the void, scheduling conflicts that make absolutely no sense. It's the daily grind, basically grinding to a halt.
And Libras hate inefficiency. It deeply offends their sense of balance.
It will drive them up the wall. And because the sixth house also rules health, the sources are very specific here. It's not a time for panic, but a time for maintenance. Watch out for feet, skin issues, or what the data hilariously calls digestive tolerability.
Digestive tolerability. That is such a polite way of saying, maybe don't try the super spicy street food this week, honey.
Precisely. Maybe that new extreme diet isn't working for you right now. If you are stressed at work, your stomach will know it way before your brain does.
And the biggest tactical advice here, do not sign new job contracts this week if you can avoid it.
Because of the Pisces fog.
Yes. You just won't see the fine print. Wait until the shadow passes. Double check every single email. Okay, so work is sticky, but love is fun. Oh, wait. We need to circle back to that Mars and Uranus square. You said it causes friction. Where does that land for our Tarazi friends?
This is the tricky part. While the fifth house brings new romance and fun floats, Mars is triggering the sector of established partnerships, the spouse, the long-term partner.
Oh boy. So new love is exciting, but the person you actually live with is getting on your nerves.
It's a real break or make atmosphere. Mars brings heat. Libras, who, will usually swallow their feelings just to keep the peace, might find themselves in sudden, really fiery arguments. The tension is snapping.
That is dangerous. because a Libra explosion is rare, but when it happens, it's usually because they've been holding it in for like 6 months.
Exactly. And with Uranus involved, it comes out of nowhere. Why did you leave the socks on the floor? Turns into I want a divorce very quickly.
Oh my God. Okay, Libras, listen to me right now. Do not burn the house down just because the toast is burnt.
That is the quote of the week. Don't burn the house down because the toast burned. Relationships are being tested, yes. But the charts suggest this is transient tension. Do not make a permanent, impulsive decision to break up based on a temporary transit.
Count to 10. Or maybe 100. Just step away from the socks.
Walk away. Go do something creative in your fifth house. Paint a picture of your anger, but do not scream at your spouse.
Solid advice. Now, what about the wallet? With all this erratic energy, is their money safe?
Not entirely. The fifth house can also lead to gambling or overspending on fun, and the Mars energy brings unexpected costs.
Like broken appliances.
Broken appliances, sudden needs where the kids are asking for money, or just impulsive buys because you're stressed. The advice is strict caution here. This is not the week for risky financial moves or speculation. Keep your money in your pocket, my honeys.
It really highlights that classic Libra struggle, doesn't it? The desire for everything to be beautiful and harmonious versus the chaotic reality of life.
It is comical. Can you imagine a Libra trying to navigate this Mercury retrograde indecision?
Oh, it's painful to even think about. Should I send the email?
Yeah.
Maybe I should change the font. No, wait, is that too aggressive? I'll just delete the whole thing.
And then they'll spend 3 hours deciding what to eat for dinner, get frustrated, and just eat toast.
And then, because of Mars, they burn the toast.
It is a tragic comedy. But you know, the thing about Libra is the charm. Even in the middle of this absolute disaster, they have that Venus and Jupiter support, that grace.
It's so true. They can crash your car, but they look so genuinely sorry and sweet about it that you end up comforting them.
It is a superpower, and they should absolutely use it. If you mess up at work this week, and honestly, you probably will just smile, turn on the charm offensive, it will probably work.
But I do have to give one warning because I know them. Libras can be so impatient when they are lonely or bored.
Oh, absolutely they can.
You know Libras are impatient, so I'm getting straight to the point here, honey.
Yeah.
Do not text your ex just because Mercury is retrograde.
Put the phone down. Step away from the device.
I know they're sitting there thinking, I wonder how he is doing. No, he is fine. He is just as confused by the stars as you are. Leave it alone.
That is survival advice right there.
Yeah.
The nostalgia is a total trap this week.
Okay, we have covered the chaos of the moment, but I want to look forward just a little bit. We have that lunar eclipse in Virgo coming on March 3rd. For Libra, that lands in the 12th house. That sounds really deep.
It is profound. The 12th house is the closet of the soul. It's the subconscious, the hidden things, the spiritual realm. Having a lunar eclipse there is like opening that closet and completely clearing it out.
Taking out the spiritual trash.
Exactly. Libras are being called to rest. The sources mention vivid dreams during this time because the subconscious is trying to process old fears and flush them out.
So if they are dreaming about, I don't know, high school exams or being chased by giant donuts, it actually means something.
It means the system is cleaning itself. It is a time for spiritual retreat. If you can take a spa day, do it. Meditate, sleep more, let go of those subconscious fears.
Which is such a funny paradox when you think about it. The 5th house wants them to be on stage, shining like a star, but the 12th house wants them to nap in a dark cave.
That is exactly the balance they have to master this week. Perform, be creative, be romantic, but then go home, lock the door, put on a cucumber mask, and sleep for 12 hours.
Because if they don't rest, that 6th house health stuff is going to catch up with them.
It's all connected. The body will force the rest if they don't take it willingly.
Well, my nasty birds, my aesthetic angels, we have covered a lot today. The fog of Mercury, the explosions of Mars, the romance of the eclipse. It feels like a lot to handle all at once.
It is a lot, but I really want to leave them with this thought. Despite the explosive Mars energy and the confusing Mercury fog, big surprises and positive transformations are waiting for Libras next month.
The storm always breaks, doesn't it?
It does. This week is just the clearing of the path. The eclipses remove what is no longer needed so that the new can enter. You are being upgraded.
A major upgrade. We'd love to hear it. Next month is going to be full of surprises.
Tremendous ones.
Well, my nice-hearted listeners, thank you so much for navigating the stars with us today. We hope this deep dive helps you keep your balance when the ground starts shaking.
And remember, knowledge is power. When you know Mars is squaring Uranus, you don't have to take the anger personally. You can just look at the sky and say, there goes the cosmos, acting up again.
Exactly. Be the observer, not the drama. And hey, if you don't want to miss that big upgrade coming next month, and trust me, you do not, make sure you subscribe to our channel, What Do Stars Say? You need to be here for the upcoming eclipse breakdown.
Yes, please do. And if you like this horoscope interpretation, or if we saved you from sending a risky text to your ex, smash that like button. It really helps us out.
And don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Are you a Libra? Feeling the indecision? Did you burn the toast? Share your stories in the comments. We read them, and we absolutely love them.
We certainly do. Hang in there, everyone.
Sending you plenty of positive energy, our aesthetic birds. May your week be balanced, beautiful, and maybe just a little bit exciting. But we see you next time.
See you next week.